So I've lived in Canada almost all of my life, and I've always lived in places where, you know, it snowed. For a long time I lived in what we called the snow belt in Ontario, and we always got a lot of snow. And back in the day, all the cars were rear-wheel drive, and so, you know, I know about drifting, like what you would call ice drifting, controlling skids, slides, you know, controlled drifting around corners and stuff. It was just part of survival for winter driving in the snow belt in Ontario. But I really didn't experience what I would call, you know, ice drifting until I moved to Cold Lake, Alberta. And in Cold Lake, Alberta, every winter the roads get hard packed with hard packed snow and ice, and in order just to get moving, you have to spin your tires in the cars just to get them started. And so it was constantly, you know, spinning tires just to move around in the wintertime. And after a while, you know, a few years of that, I started getting really good at ice drifting. And the whole time it was in a front-wheel drive car, which is, you know, different dynamics than a rear-wheel drive car. But, you know, when the roads are pure ice, you can still ice drift in a front-wheel drive car. And of course, you know, when I was driving one of my rear-wheel drive cars, normally one of my collector cars or something, I would often, you know, break out into, you know, the rear end would lose it going around a corner, and I would just drift around the corner and keep going. You know, I'd just be like, well, this is happening, and I would just roll with it. And so I would say I'm a pretty decent, what you would say, ice drifter. But what I'd really like to learn how to do is to drift on pavement. And I have no real experience with that. And so here's kind of the question, you know. Can a guy who's, you know, 2 years short of 60, has no budget, all I have is this 2003 Toyota Soarer with a Toyota V8 engine in it. Everything's stock, it's an automatic transmission. You know, what would it take for me to actually learn how to drift and to be good at it? And so, you know, I have no budget, so I'm going to pick up a part-time job so I can get a few extra bucks, and I'm just gonna, you know, slowly convert this car into a super fun drift car. All the while, though, I want to keep it street legal because it's my daily driver. So there you have it. I guess I'm throwing down the gauntlet. I am going to learn how to drift, and I'm going to turn this car into a drift car, and I'm giving myself 2 years to do it. So there will be updates, you know. It's going to take a while because I got to learn how to do it, and then of course, you know, I have to get the money to make any modifications that I decide are necessary to make it happen. So yeah. So. Here's a road that basically goes nowhere. There's nobody around here. There's a bunch of lots for sale. It's like a road going nowhere. It must go somewhere. Where does this road go? A little bit of stone and gravel on it. It literally just goes back here and turns into a farmer's field. Interesting. So I've only ever spun the tires on this car one time, and it was on a slightly wet road. So let's see if I can spin the tires on this road. Traction off, high power on. Let's see what happens. Ooh, that was kind of fun. I guess this car does have some power. I wonder if I can do a donut with this car on pavement. I've never even tried something like that. Whoa, that was fun. It was a little hard on my tires though. All right. Fun, wow. Didn't know this car had that much power. Okay, Garmin, stop recording.